Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another weekly comic book haul. Guys, we were going to film this last night. I did have an extra for this week, or I should say 2 extras. Unfortunately, we waited today. They were supposed to be delivered today, which is Saturday, and they never were delivered. So I guess we didn't want to hold the haul off too much because this video is going up and we're going to be recording the indie review right after this. So we didn't want to wait another day, so there'll be extras next week guaranteed. This week, unfortunately, I have no extras. News-wise, we are a week after 300. 300 was an excellent weekend. We had a great time. You're going to be seeing a lot of the changes starting over the next couple of weeks. Like I said, a lot of the stuff we're waiting till towards the end of the summer. So give it about a week or 2 or 3, and that's when we're really going to be putting a lot of the changes into full swing for this channel, adding a lot of the newer content that I mentioned, a lot of the newer podcasts. The live shows will be popping up everywhere. The Chris and Brand Show, for example, the morning stream. These are shows that will be showing up every now and again very soon. I did promise you guys the 2 at the theaters, so maybe we'll do that as well. I am in talks with other people about other series in the future. There is one series I did not announce during 300 that will be announced in September. It'll be a conjoined series between this channel and Comic Frontline, so you'll have to check out both channels in order to get the full series. So that's a huge plus. I'm trying to think if there was anything other than that. Other than that, this past Friday was Zone 4. It's up now, episode 313. You can go check it out on zone4podcast.com or Comic Frontline, whether you want to watch it on YouTube or listen to it on iTunes or on zone4podcast.com. That is up to you guys. We had a blast. It was a really great show. Lots of great stuff. Read the show notes. It was really fun and really just a great time. I will say this, because it's out now, that our Zone 4 will become a live show. For those of you, I would definitely encourage you guys to go listen into the episode, especially at the end. Brant makes the mention that we will be turning it to a live show format starting next month with episode 214, I believe. Not 14, 215. I'm sorry, 214 is the regular cast again. 215, we will be moving it to a live show on Frontline. So look forward to that in the future. Next Friday, Dark Avenger Live will return. Cindy will return to Minecraft. We will return to comic discussions. And look forward to just about anything. There is one thing I will mention with these comic books. It was a fair pile this week. Now, you guys know, I love how 300, it was 10 books. The indie review was like 12 books. Now, the pile gets big again. And next week's pile is really big also. So, without further ado, there's really no other announcements to make for now. Look forward, like I said, to a lot of the changes slowly coming. By this time, by the end of, let's say by the end of September, a lot of the newer formats will be in play, if not all of them by that point. And look forward to Outside the Pages in about 2 or 3 weeks. That's where I'm going to be explaining a lot of stuff going on in my life, a lot of changes that will be happening. Anyway, let's get into the books. That's what you guys are here for, and then we go into the indie review. And hopefully very soon, like I said, once Indie hits 100, we're at 96 this week, we will be going into the full format of the comic reviews the way we announced. The World's Finest reviews will begin either on right after episode 100 for the Indie reviews or before it, and we'll just be doing the big 2 books for that time as World's Finest. And then when the Indie review hits 100, the Indie books will join in. So, Looney Tunes 226. This is a Cindy book. Cindy loves Looney Tunes. It's just part of the pile, so I thought I'd make mention of that. But now on to the other books. We've got Siege from Battle World, issue number 2. We've got Age of Apocalypse, issue number 2. Darth Vader, issue number 8. Red Skull number 2. It has a really interesting picture of Magneto on it. Now, I just did a review, which is ironic, for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimate Collection Volume 5. I noticed I didn't do Volume 4. I'm going to have to go back and do that, by the way. Sorry they're out of order. I thought I did it. Guess I didn't, so I'm going to cover 4. 6 is coming out in September, but we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Color Classics Volume 3, issue number 8. This issue actually is the issue right before the Ultimate Collection Volume 5 takes over, or I think there's one more issue and then Volume 5 takes over. So for those of you that want to read in color, there you go. Robin Hood, issue number 13, lucky number 13. Love that. And we have the penultimate issue of Realm Wars. Only one more issue to go. And the good news is Realm Wars will end right before New York Comic Con. So we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about with Mr. Pat Shan when we go to New York Comic Con in October. Got Future Imperfects, issue number 4. I don't know, this book just... When it started, I was iffy about it. As the series continued, it became predictable. Greg Land's art. Enough said. I've already looked through this book. There's a hilarious picture on, like, the second page. I don't know, the book just keeps speaking to me. It's like I can't drop it. A book that's probably going to be close to the #1 spot of the week for me is Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, issue number 3. Loving that. Civil War hits issue 2. Excited about that. Got Spider Island hitting issue 2. Hopefully things will pick up here because the first issue kind of fell a little bit flat. Got Ultimate End issue 4 of 5. There's only one more issue, apparently, because I believe it said at the end of this issue, and I'm going to make sure because I don't want to bite my tongue on this one because this is a big book. Yeah, it says to be concluded. So there's only one more issue until Ultimate End is over, and I have a feeling we're not going to be seeing Ultimate End again until the beginning of September. So big things look like they happen in this book. We got Infinity Gauntlet issue number 3. I got the variant because it's Scotty Young and it's Rocket Raccoon. Guardians of Nowhere issue number 2. I think my only DC book, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. And the only DC comic book this week that's mine is Green Lantern issue 43. Amazing. There's really no other DC book this week, from me at least. Or Mike. Oh boy. This is going to be a very Marvel-centric review. I just noticed that as we did this haul. Huh! Okay. And now, these 3 books, 2 of them came out before. One of the books came out now. And next week another one's going to come out. But I'm probably going to be reviewing these 3 books in their own special video. I'm going to start doing that with some of the books, guys. Especially books that I go back and I grab. And this is going to kind of telltale one of the extras that was going to come this week. But I got my hands on Justice League, Gods and Monsters, Superman and Batman. And this week, I believe, was Wonder Woman. So I've got the 3 solo shots for all 3 characters. And now next week is Justice League, Gods and Monsters, just Justice League, I believe, to my knowledge. I think so. I'm not sure, but I know there's one more coming out. So I won't be reading these 3 before the Big 2 review. We'll do the Big 2 review. Expect sometime next week a 3-issue review. I'll be reviewing all 3 of these sometime next week. Most likely I'll be doing it on Wednesday because Monday, the Big 2, maybe I'll do it Monday night. It depends. Let's say anywhere between Monday and Wednesday, I'll be reading and reviewing all 3 of the Justice League Gods and Monsters books. And yes, it does give away one of the things that was an extra, but still, I'll show you guys next week, I guess. I apologize. The mail just was not on our side today. 2 to 1, it's going to come tomorrow, which really annoys me, but it will come tomorrow. And nothing I can do about that. You guys will see it next week. I have a couple extras for next week. 2 things. So that's it for the weekly comic book haul, guys. Look forward to the indie review directly after this video, and the Big 2 review. As we finished our indie books, tomorrow is going to be a lot of Big 2 reading, and then we'll see if we get the Big 2 review up by Monday morning. And right now we're at the same format. Like I said, as you guys can see, I'm trying to break some books off into some solo or grouped reviews. Last week I did Argo 519 and what was that other book now? Origins Unknown by Vic Dandridge Jr. I did both of those solo reviews. I got this group review going on next week, so it's starting to happen. this channel is slowly going to transition into its new way. I don't want to throw you guys into cold water and put a shock in your system. So slowly I'm going to transition into the new format. And hopefully as the slow transition happens, you guys get used to it. And I'm going to try not to overload the subscription box with tons of solo reviews at once. But I'm going to try to do it where there's maybe 2 at a time or something, where they're a little bit more spread out, so I don't kill you guys, especially when there's a bunch like this. And we got a lot of indie books this week, a lot. So I'm not going to waste any more time here. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to check out ComicFrontline.com, Zone4Podcast.com, and Frontline Gaming Zone. We are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Stay tuned. We got a humongous indie review, episode 96, coming your way next. See you guys there.